What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Madden 15 breakdown on my PS4. Please do me a favor, take a moment, like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section. As always, Twitter, shutdown safety. If you watched yesterday's video about how to be a football analyst, how to break down videos on YouTube, you're going to recognize this is the last play of that video. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you go check it out. And you'll probably realize that I was having a pretty good drive up until this play. And in the heat of the moment, like I recommended, I wanted to do this breakdown because a lot of times in this game, you're forced to play Madden, not football. And this is a perfect example of how on so many fundamental levels, this game just fails to execute things the right way. So first and foremost, Harvey comes out here, and I want you to understand what I'm thinking right now as a running back. The halfback is going through a gap that has two linebackers coming toward it. My tight end is released off the defensive end, and there is nothing but open field out here, except for one safety that if we go back there, you can see has backed up into the center of the field. So I can essentially assume at this point Allen could be a blocker for me, and I can probably break to the outside and get a pretty good opening. This thought process is even better respected when you go back and you take a look at how this defensive end comes off the line, and after he gets chipped a little bit is completely parallel. There's no reason that he would turn his shoulders inside to the line. He's not even in a position to tackle me. And I want you to notice just exactly what happens up here to facilitate this play being stopped. Number one, a lot of times other offensive players get way too enamored with what the user control is doing. Harvey should follow his assignment, regardless of what I'm doing with stick skills. When I break back to the outside, he shifts over, and instead of getting the linebacker to the outside, decides to get the linebacker to the inside. And what this sets up is really just a cluster of animations. Now, first and foremost, there's been a lot of talk in the community, a majority of that by people who've never played football, of what a reach tackle is. So let me set the record straight. To me, a reach tackle is when you're going past players that are interacting, an offensive and defensive player. The defensive player is able to extend an arm and slow your progress as you go by. An assisted tackle would be when you're being tackled in the open field by one defensive player and another player comes in, maybe with only an arm, and is able to assist that player in completing a tackle on you. Some people have a different perception of that. But to me, this is a great example of where the defensive end, number 95, could have a reach tackle. I'm getting ready to pass by him. He can reach out and slow my progress so that the linebacker, number 50, can actually complete a tackle. This actually doesn't occur the way it should. You can see as I go to clear Wembley, he reaches his arm out, but he only gets really his hand on the ball, and then I start to shift backwards. Now Gooden, the player that, remember, should have been blocked by my fullback, I just want you to know that I've never seen a linebacker try to tackle a running back like this. I mean, he comes across on this tackle animation from right about, let's say, when his arms open up there, it starts. So, a yard and a half before he can even make contact with me, he's already in the game trying to tackle me. When he comes through, his arm basically grabs a hold of mine, and then he stops my momentum. He doesn't try to come back around and pull me down. He doesn't try to tackle me. All that happens is the defensive tackle basically just falls into me. And this is actually credited toward Casey, number 99 rather, as the tackle. To me, none of this is football. This play should have had the linebacker blocked. I should have been able to break outside right here. Whether I get a touchdown or not is irrelevant. But instead, I get a shifting, warping mess where players fall into each other, and apparently a tackle is made for a loss, and it stops what had been a really good drive. And just to play it for you at speed, to show you how fast this is, how hidden some of these flaws can be. I know it's a long video. I appreciate you sticking through it. I'd love to know your opinions on it, and I'll be back in the week with more content.